Hi, hello. Welcome back to my little world. My name's Cooper. As always, I am your favorite art teacher. And today I'm thinking about spring because spring is the season when artists graduate from college. And I thought I would take a couple moments today to give some tips, tricks, insights, offer resources for artists that want a bit of a roadmap or just some ideas about what to do, how to build out your life as an artist after the college experience. So here are 5 things you should consider when you graduate college and become a professional artist in the community. Let's get into it. Glasses time. Thing number 1. This is great. It's imperative that you stay in touch with the people that you graduated with. That group of people is called your cohort. So stay in touch in whatever way makes sense to you. That could be a group chat. That could be a monthly video call. That could be getting together in person to go to galleries or just to hang out and do informal critiques. And it's good to stay in touch with your cohort because you can compare notes, give each other resources, right? You don't want to lose access to the community of artists you spent so long building in school. So hang on to those people because they can offer all those things to you and sustain you. Because nobody succeeds alone. I think that's a total American fallacy of the independent artist or entrepreneur or whatever. It takes a community of people behind every successful person for them to get where they've gotten to. And the other thing is that anecdotally, in my own experience, all of the mural projects I've ever been a part of, I got through friends who graduated with me in my program, and they called me up and said, "Hey, Cooper, I have this project, and I know you're reliable and easy to work with and friendly, and we have a rapport. Would you like to work with me? Here's the amount of money I can offer you, and it will build out your resume." And I had a blast doing murals throughout the Bay Area with those people, and I would do so again. So that's thing number 1. Maintain ties with your cohort. Keep your people with you. Thing number 2. Good. The second thing that you need to do, and the most important thing you need to do after you graduate from a program, is find or designate a studio space for yourself so that you can keep your art practice going. That has practical effects, as in you continue to make work and develop ideas and build out a portfolio that you can then use to apply to galleries or to grad school or whatever. But the other thing that's important about that is that it's important for you to continue to have a creative space where you are in complete control. And that can be a great space to process things that are internal, you make them external with your work. And the other thing I'll say is that not every day in the studio needs to be a big event where you finish a painting or make a really ambitious piece or knock something out or prove something to yourself or others. It really can just be spending time there, even just an hour journaling. But spending time in your studio space consistently keeps the creative juices flowing, it keeps that prime pumped, and it reminds you who you are. There's sort of a peripheral benefit to having a studio space, or at least a space that you designate if you can't afford to rent a professional one. It's important to maintain your identity as an artist with a space that supports your life-fulfilling work. So keep a studio space. Thing number 3 that maybe you don't hear from a lot of artists often, but I do think it's crucially important, and it is to take as good care of yourself as you possibly can. And you can start simply. This can just mean 3 meals a day, drinking enough water, regular exercise, which is really good for fending off depression, getting enough sleep. All of these things are underrated, but actually really incredible because really good for you. Because in order for you to get where you want to go, the car has to have gas in it. And so it's important that you gas yourself up. This also means self-talk. The way you talk to and about yourself is crucially important. So the sooner you can get out of your own way and stop disqualifying yourself because you think you're a certain kind of person that doesn't meet a certain standard, and start thinking of yourself as someone who is capable and who has learned things and has things to offer and maybe doesn't know everything but is working on it, Think about your life, your practice, who you are as a work in progress. In order for the garden to grow, you have to water it consistently. So start watering it. And then eventually the garden bears fruit, and you can give that fruit to other people, right? Emotional availability comes from taking care of yourself so that the system is working. If the system's working, then it can be shared. Thing number 4, pay attention to who you want with you and maintain those relationships. When you're in school, in a 4-year college or a community college and then to school or whatever kind of trade school, you're going to meet people that are like-minded, and you're going to meet people that are good friends because there's a built-in community and proximity reason for you to be spending time together. And after you graduate, you will find very quickly which people you want to stay in touch with and which ones you don't. And continue to invest in your community and your support group and your social ties. You don't have to stay in touch with everybody, but it's important to pick your people and maintain those ties with them. The other thing with that is who you spend time with matters. You actually are, I've read a couple books where they say this now, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? The environment that you're in, and that includes the people you surround yourself with, affects who you are and how you think about things and the kinds of conversations you have and the ways you spend your time and the things you go do. And so be intentional with who you pick and who you keep in your inner circle, and keep those people with you. Because again, nobody gets through it alone. You need to link arms with a few people and encourage each other to keep going. Thing number 5, and this is a practical thing, and that thing is you're gonna have to get a job. Inevitably, every artist, until they reach a certain threshold in their career, has to spend time in the workforce in some capacity. And so I want for you to be intentional about the kind of work that you choose and prioritize at least one of these 3 things. The first thing is access to people that you want to learn from. These can be teachers, these can be craftspeople, but people that have something to offer you that you don't already have. Maybe they have clout in an industry you want to spend more time in. You're going to learn a lot from spending time with them. So that's really important. The second thing is consider access to tools or resources that you need or want to use. So this could be a library, this could be a workshop, this could be a print shop, a computer lab. So think about a kind of place that offers you something beyond the paycheck, right? If it has a resource that is going to be useful to your practice or the other life-affirming things that you do outside of working, then prioritize that. The third thing, reading my silly little notes here, is to prioritize environments that feed you as well. So this can be working in a gallery, this can be working in a museum space. Again, there's a secondary advantage to working in a place related to your field, because when you are off the clock, and even when you're on the clock, you're in environments that you're already interested in or already have something to offer you, or reinforcing the way you already want to live in an important way. And I identified all 3 of these things, the kinds of people, the kinds of resources, the kinds of environments, because in your 20s, and most of you that are going to be graduating college as artists are going to be in your early to mid-20s. In your 20s, in my opinion, it is most important to prioritize learning over money. You can, if you're lucky, find a high-paying job with a certain level of skills. But over a period of years, if you stay in that job, other people are going to pass you because they've been putting time in for skill acquisition. So in your 20s, take the biggest risks you can and really prize learning and skill acquisition, because then the money comes after as you become a more competitive employee. So those are my 5 things that I think you should be keeping in mind. And with all of these things, the main thing that you need to keep in mind is it's important to be consistent. It's important to consistently be in the studio. It's important to consistently stay in touch with your cohort. It's important to consistently check in with your community. It's important to consistently be in the community and looking at art, even if that's online images or watching movies or listening to things and telling your friends about it, comparing notes. All of these things reinforce each other, right? An art career is not one thing. There's the art making, and there's the art admin, and there's the community building. there's being a part of the community, there's volunteering your time, there's being paid for things that you have to contribute. And all these things matter, and they add up, so long as you're willing to practice, to have an art practice, and that takes consistency. So I hope this is useful to you. If you think of any other things that you think it's important for artists coming out of college to know, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next week.